All right, welcome back. Part 2 of our fish sculpture. Now, we are making a fish sculpture. And now I mean by fish sculpture, I mean sea creature. Anything really I'm open to that swims in the sea, you can make. So if there's other animals like a turtle or an octopus or a starfish or anything like that, you can make that. Now, it can be a realistic kind of fish, or it can be more cartoony. That's fine, but I am encouraging you not to copy other artists. In other words, something that's already been made or you've seen on TV or a cartoon, well, that's off limits. You are the artist and you're creating something new for your generation. Some sort of new cartoon fish would be great. This is how artists begin. They kind of create their own ideas and own things. All right, so what we need to do first is start out with, in your sketchbook, you're going to come up with a couple of ideas. And once you've done that, you can discuss those with me on how they're going to work. Now, my first step was I drew out a fish on the cardboard, kind of created my design. You're welcome to use any of my shapes, circles and stuff like that, add fins to it and stuff like that. Now I've got my first one. I need to actually make two. So get another piece of cardboard and trace it out with a pencil so that you have two pieces that kind of fit together, like so, okay? So, and it doesn't matter which side the cardboard or the labeling is on, okay? That doesn't matter. But you are going to put the two pieces together, match them up. Let's see, this kind of goes like this or this. Match them up. Put a little pieces of tape in some key areas just to kind of hold it together. Let's see here. I just want to kind of keep it together in a couple of spots, maybe 4 or 5 spots. Put it together, kind of tape it in place so it all kind of together. Now this is a flat fish, and I want to give it some depth. It's a fatter fish than that. It's not flat as a pancake. So I'm going to couple up wad up some newspaper, and I'm going to stick it in there. Okay. Give it some fatness and finish up the taping. That didn't like that, so I got to reinforce the spaces. It doesn't need a ton of newspaper, just enough to kind of give it some fatness. You can kind of tear off some smaller pieces if you need to, if you kind of like to fatten up the tail and things like that. Okay, so tape it, secure it. There you go. Now, a lot of times kids are asking me, well, how is it going to fit on my post? You do want to kind of consider leaving a space open at the bottom, okay, because you're going to be sticking it on the dowel rod that is attached to the base. All right, so this is the point where we're at now, and we are going to start papier-mâché. Okay, now this papier-mâché is gooey. It kind of feels a little bit like snot, but it's snot. It's not snot. It's just papier-mâché. All right, now you're going to create some strips like this. Now, I do sometimes find kids that think, oh, I'm going to make this faster. I'm going to get big wads of paper and put it on there. Well, that does get us into some trouble, okay? We are just putting on this slimy stuff and adding a nice coat of it. Even if you've got some already on there, you can use what you've kind of put on there and spread it around, okay? Now, what oftentimes you do is when you dip it in here, you kind of take off the excess. So kind of take off the excess and put them like so. Small pieces should be used for small areas when you're trying to make it around corners. Now, as you go, you're going to be adding lots of layers, okay? So here, this one's a little bit further along. I'm going to be continuing to add some more to this. I want at least 2 or 3 layers, or maybe 4. The more layers, the stronger it's going to be. As well as I want to smooth out. One of the things I sometimes see kids doing, they're just slapping them on there, and there's things like this sticking up. Smooth that out, okay? Smooth out when you're going around corners and things like that. Now, if you have an idea that you want to make something with lots of little legs and tendrils and things like that, like an octopus or a shrimp or something like that, or squid, that has lots of legs. Make the legs kind of wider and kind of have some substance to them. Little skinny legs, it's possible, but it's going to take you a little bit longer to get around all little skinny small things. So keep that in mind. So if you've got something that like a narwhal thing or something like that, keep that in mind. Some of those things could potentially be added non-paper mache. We have other materials that could be used to add small details like a wire thing or something like that. So that is the fish. Now some of you are going to think, hey, I wanted to make a blowfish. I wanted something a little bit more like a round, like a ball. And so I want to show you how you would do that. Basically with a round ball, you're going to make a ball out of, and for example's sake, this is a little smaller for like a blowfish, but this is a round ball that I've got. Basically, you same thing, make the shape that you want to begin with, tape it in a couple key areas just to get your shape, and then you can begin by adding the paper mache. Now this is not going to change shape. Whatever shape that you create here, it's going to be when it's dry. Nothing happens to the shape when it's drying. For the most part, what you see is what you're going to get. So you better make it look like what you want it to look like. Okay? So you're going to add paper mache all the way around there, several layers over and over. I do like it when you add 2 and 3 layers so that it's nice and white. And when it's white like this and everything's covered up, it's going to be easy to paint. Okay? So that is step 2. I want to see a couple of layers each, nice and solid white. When it's done, it's going to be hard like this. We'll make a hole in the bottom later, or make it now and ready to go. Okay, and then we'll lay these over here. Usually when I let them lay to dry, we're going to put something under it like a lid or something so it doesn't stick to the table. So put it on a lid ready to go to dry, and then we will come back and work on the last step is decorating them. We'll draw our designs on them and paint them. All right, there we go. That's video 2.